Most people assume that a life is built on a steady upward climb. We picture a ladder, each rung representing a new success, a promotion, a bigger office, a more important title. We are taught to look for the next step, to always be moving forward, to measure our worth by our momentum. This story is familiar to all of us. It is the story of progress we were given, the one we told ourselves as we started our careers. We believed that if we just kept climbing, we would eventually reach a place of satisfaction, a place where the view from the top made all the effort worthwhile. It is a simple and compelling narrative, but that's not what actually stays with us. The real moments that define our professional journey are often much quieter. They do not announce themselves with fanfare or a celebration. Instead, they arrive as a subtle shift in the air, a feeling that settles in our bones long before our minds can name it. It is the quiet recognition that the ladder we have been climbing is leaning against the wrong wall. Or perhaps we realize we no longer have the desire to climb at all. This feeling is not a failure. It is not a crisis. It is a quiet, internal realignment, a gentle turning toward a different kind of meaning. This experience is often misunderstood, both by ourselves and by the world around us. We are expected to have a plan, to make a decisive move, to fix the problem quickly. The world wants a new 5-year plan, a bold announcement, a clear and marketable pivot. We are told to rebrand, to network, to hustle our way into a new beginning. But this external pressure to perform and to explain ourselves often drowns out the very thing we need to hear. It silences the quiet voice that is trying to guide us toward a more authentic path, a path that is not about proving anything to anyone, but simply about finding a rhythm that feels like our own. The space between letting go of the old story and finding a new one is often uncomfortable. It can feel empty and uncertain. It is a reflective gap, a pause where the noise of expectation fades away. Most people rush to fill this silence. They search for immediate answers and quick solutions, afraid of what they might find if they simply sit with the questions for a while. But what if this quiet space is not something to be escaped? What if it is the very place where the next version of ourselves is waiting to be discovered? It is in this stillness that we can finally begin to hear what truly matters. There is a particular kind of tiredness that settles in around 40. It is not the exhaustion that comes from a single sleepless night or a demanding week at the office. This is a deeper weariness, a weight accumulated over thousands of days. It lives in the small muscles of the shoulders, the subtle ache in the lower back, a quiet hum of fatigue that persists even after a full night's rest. This feeling is not a complaint. It is a testament to a life fully lived, a body and soul that have carried responsibilities for family, for colleagues, for a younger version of oneself who made promises long ago. It is the honorable weight of showing up day after day, often mistaken for burnout, but something else entirely. Burnout is emptiness from giving too much with too little return. This, however, is a fullness, a life rich with purpose, but a purpose that may no longer fit the person you have become. The rhythms that once energized you now feel like a heavy coat on a warm day. The daily routines, the familiar commute, the recurring meetings, motions you go through, not choices you make. You look at your calendar, a mosaic of obligations, wants, aspirations. You feel the profound weight of your own competence. The world has no vocabulary. It tells you to take a vacation, find a new hobby, practice more self-care. But this is not solved by a week away or a yoga class. It is a fundamental shift in your internal landscape, a signal that the energy that fueled the first half of your professional life has been spent. It was invested wisely, building a career, a family, a stable existence. Now, a different kind of energy is needed, not striving and achieving, but aligning and connecting. A quiet call for a new source of fuel, one that nourishes who you are now, not who you once were. This recognition arrives in the quietest moments. Washing the dishes late at night, the house finally still. A long drive with no music, just the sound of the road. In these pockets of silence, you notice the disparity between the life you built and the life calling from within. You are not unhappy, not exactly. You are aware the definition of a well-lived day has changed. The satisfaction of a completed to-do list is replaced by a yearning for something less tangible, something beyond productivity. With this awareness comes a quiet and unexpected grief. It is a mourning not for what has been lost, but for the simplicity of who you used to be. There is a sadness in letting go of the person who had a clear and straightforward answer to the question, "What do you do?" That person had a title, a defined role, a place in the world that was easy to explain to others and to oneself. Their identity was neatly packaged, their path seemingly linear. There was comfort in that certainty, a sense of security in knowing exactly where you stood. To consider a change is to willingly step away from that clarity and embrace a future that is undefined. This is the moment most people stop thinking. The weight of all these feelings, the tiredness, the grief, the fragile curiosity, becomes too much. The uncertainty feels like a vast, open ocean, and the shore of your old life seems so safe and so close. The mind, in its desire for safety and order, begins to shut down the exploration. It starts to generate a list of reasons why change is impossible, impractical, irresponsible. The mortgage needs to be paid. The children are at a critical age. You are too old to start over. It is too late to learn something new. Each thought is a heavy anchor, pulling you back to the familiar. This internal monologue is powerful because it sounds so reasonable. It speaks in the voice of responsibility, pragmatism, an adult who knows how the world works. It tells you that these quiet feelings are a luxury you cannot afford. The world supports this retreat. It rewards you for staying on the predictable path. The door that was creaking open is gently but firmly closed. You tell yourself it is for the best, but something has shifted. A memory of that open space remains. The questions do not disappear entirely. They just retreat to a deeper place. Chauki chia fragage. Chaikao. Waiting for the next quiet moment to make themselves heard again. This is the critical juncture, the point where the journey can either end or truly begin. If this feels familiar, stay with me. Instead of a grand plan, what if you started with a small experiment? An experiment is not a commitment. It is a low-stakes way to gather information. It is driven by curiosity, not by the pressure to succeed. An experiment has no pass or fail. It simply produces data. If you have felt a pull toward more creative expression, the experiment is not to quit your job and become an artist. The experiment is to sign up for a weekend pottery class or to spend 1 hour every Saturday morning writing. The goal is not to produce a masterpiece. The goal is to see how it feels. If you have noticed a desire to help others more directly, the experiment is not to retrain as a therapist. It is to volunteer or to offer to mentor a junior colleague. You are collecting emotional data, noticing what energizes you and what drains you. These small experiments begin to change your inner sense of work and self. Each small action is a vote for a different kind of future. It proves that you have agency, that you can introduce new elements into your life without having to tear the whole structure down. This process is slow. It is incremental. It does not provide immediate answers, but it does something more important. It reawakens your sense of possibility. Early career momentum is measured externally. Progress is visible, it is loud. But at this stage of life, progress often becomes an internal metric. It is quieter. It is measured not by what you acquire, but by what you align with. It is the feeling of your inner life and your outer life slowly starting to move in the same direction. This new form of progress is about subtraction as much as it is about addition. It is about gently letting go of the obligations, habits, and beliefs that no longer serve you. It could be decluttering your calendar to create more empty space. It is the slow, deliberate process of carving away the non-essential. This redefines progress as a process of unfolding rather than a process of climbing. Your sense of self begins to expand. You are no longer just your job title. You are also a writer, a mentor, a beginner potter. Your identity becomes richer, more resilient. This is the quiet, powerful work of starting again at 40. It is not about becoming someone new, but about finally allowing all the different parts of yourself to come home. We arrive at this point in our lives, this quiet plateau after the long climb, and we find ourselves holding a question. It is not a question with a simple answer. It is a living question, one that unfolds over time, changing its shape as we change. The deeper question is often felt before it can be articulated. The question is not, what should I do next? The deeper question is different. What if its function is to serve as a new compass, gently orienting us toward choices that feel more authentic? The question itself becomes a guide, a companion for the next stage of the journey. We're not searching for a final answer. We are learning to inhabit the question itself, allowing it to slowly shape us. What is the one small, quiet experiment your life is asking you to begin today?